Adjusted trial balance was taken from the end of July 31st, 2017 fiscal year for Brilliant Sales. So this one is super nice because it's got all the accounts, all the assets start with 1, all the liabilities start with 2, equity starts with 3, revenue starts with 4, expenses start with 5. Cost of goods sold starts with 5, and the operating expenses start with 6. Probably not going to be that no, it won't be that nice on the final or in the exam. So you need to know your accounts. Again, you can't just because we have it in this example doesn't mean you're going to get it, okay? If you have it in your homework assignment, don't count on it. So we're going to do a classified multi-step income statement for use for internal users. We are not going to do number 2. I don't want to confuse you. For external users, because this is something else that's not that important for now anyways. As you advance your accounting career, you can learn it. And prepare a single step income statement. So you won't be tested on that. So, classified multi-step income statement, first mark, title. So what is the first thing we use? Start our revenue off with our sales. They are for $395,400. And then we're going to do what? Yeah. We're going to less our contra revenues to determine our net sales. So in this case we have 1. It is sales discounts. And we get our net sales. What do we want to determine next? Yeah, we want to use cost of goods sold to get our gross profit from sales. So we can less our cost of goods sold. Which is for the amount of $261,800. So our gross profit from sales is $132,400. So now we need to lay out our operating expenses. And of our operating expenses, what classification do we look at first? Yeah, exactly. Our selling expenses or sales expenses. Either one is fine. So let's go through our operating expenses. I'll start with 6 so we can have a look. Let's just go through and start looking at which ones are relevant to selling. So depreciation expense for store. Yes. Anything with a store means we're selling from it, right? $1,500. Depreciation expense, office equipment. Does that belong in selling? No. Sales salary expense. Sales? Yeah, sales would be selling. Office salaries expense. Not yet, just general. Insurance expense, store. Yes. Insurance expense, office?
No.
No. Rent expense, office?
No.
Rent expense, selling space?
Yes.
Yes. Office supplies expense? No. Store supplies expense? That's for 1,800. How about advertising expense? Would that be selling? Yeah, because you advertise to sell product. I mean, if for whatever reason it was to like advertise a job posting, then that would technically be general and admin, but I think we can assume most times is for selling. And our next classification is
General and administrative expenses.
general and administrative, 82,300. So we'll go do the same thing. We'll go through the 600s. Depreciation expense, office equipment. Yes, sorry, I skipped the store one. Office or sales salaries? No. Office salaries? Yes. Insurance expense store? Nope. Insurance expense office? Yes. Rent expense office? Yeah. So this example lays it out for us by account code. The other example just gave us a percentage, so you might have to do either or. Office supplies expense. And that is all of them. The total for that is should be there, but and I'll explain the other. I guess this example doesn't have another. I thought it did. I'll explain that in a minute. So this is a loss of 1,650. $1,650. So now we can do our single step statement, which is just taking our totals here. So brilliant sales and we can start with our revenues. Yeah, our revenues, which is our net sales of $394,200. Our expenses cost of goods sold, selling expenses, and general and admin expenses. Uh, 82,300. This is just taken from our multi-step.
Okay.
And 51,750.